You did not start a business in Dubai. You bought a PDF. That license sitting in your inbox means nothing until you complete a sequence that most business setup firms won't tell you at the start. And if you get even one step out of the order, banks will reject you, landlords will turn you away, and your own company won't legally function. Because wait, if you're paying more tax than you legally have to, that's not a compliance problem, that is an information problem. I am hosting a free live webinar where I break down exactly how the Dubai tax strategy works, who it actually works for, and the mistakes I see people make constantly. The link is in the description, so go grab your spot before it fills up. Let's get back to the video now. Here's what nobody tells you on Instagram. A business license is not residency. A visa application is not a bank account. And a rental contract in Dubai is not the same as signing a lease back home. Most people think the hard part is setting up your business license. It's not. The hard part is the sequence, getting every step in the right order. So the banks say yes, the government says yes, and your life actually works when you land. Get the order wrong, and you're stuck in Dubai with a license you can't use, a bank that won't open, and a landlord who won't rent you. Today, we're breaking down chapter 4 of my book, Dubai Dreams and Tax-Free Schemes. This chapter is called Becoming a UAE Resident. And in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to walk you through 3 things. 1, the exact step-by-step sequence to go from tourist in Dubai to a legal resident with a working business. 2, the banking mistakes that freezes people's money and how to avoid them. 3, the housing and the lease secrets that most newcomers learn the expensive way. If you stay until the end, you're going to know more about setting up in Dubai than people who already been living here for months. Quick note, before we go deeper, I'm not your lawyer and this is not legal or immigration advice. This is education. Rules change, your passport, your nationality, your business type, they all matter. Use this video to understand the big picture, then get proper personalized advice before you make any move. Now, why does this chapter matter so much? Because becoming a UAE resident is not one big step. It's a chain of steps and every step unlocks the next one. Think of it like dominoes. You register your company, that unlocks your visa application. Your visa unlocks your Emirates ID. Your Emirates ID unlocks your bank account. Your bank account unlocks your lease, and your lease becomes a proof of residency for everything else. Skip a domino and the whole chain stops. And that is exactly what happens to people who look for cheap business setup instead of a proper roadmap. We have had many business owners come to us with the wrong license activity, unable to open a bank account, or the consultant chose a wrong jurisdiction, which cost them a lot of time and money to fix. And today, I will guide you on how you can avoid these costly mistakes. Step 1, register your company. One wrong decision during your business setup could cost you thousands in taxes, lock you out of local contracts, or force you to start over from the scratch. The very first domino is your business registration. And this is the decision you must get right before anything else. Where to establish your license? Free zone or mainland? Let me simplify this for you. A free zone company is built for people like online entrepreneurs, consultants, coaches, digital marketers, and anyone whose clients are mostly outside of the UAE. You get 100% ownership, no local partner needed, and if you qualify, you could potentially pay 0% corporate tax on qualifying income. There are dozens of free zones in Dubai. The most popular ones for digital nomads are DMCC, Ifza, Maidan, Dubai Internet City, and Dubai Media City. Each one has its own vibe and its own fee structure. A mainland company, also called an LLC, is for you if you want to sell directly to customers inside the UAE. If you want to walk into a government office and bid on contract, you need a mainland license. Here's the good news. The UAE recently changed its laws. You can now have 100% foreign ownership on mainland companies too, for most business activities, and that was not always the case. Now, I know what you're thinking. Which one is right for me? And the answer depends on 3 simple questions. Are your clients mostly overseas or inside the UAE? Do you need a physical shop, office, or do you work from a laptop or work from home? Are you a solo operator or are you going to hire local staff? If your business is online and your clients are global, a free zone is almost always the cleaner, cheaper, and faster option. And I want to be honest with you about something right here, because this is exactly the moment, free zone or mainland, which one, which free zone, and how much where most people get taken advantage of. One of our client, Wayne, a business coach from the UK, also known as the business bishop, who wanted to move to Dubai, wanting to build an international coaching business. And when he started looking for help setting up his business, he found exactly what most of you will find. There are thousands of agents in the UAE, and most of which will only focus on selling you a license, some cheap and some very expensive. Everyone saying yes, everyone promising they could do it, and everyone sliding a contract across the table before they had asked him a single question about his business. Nobody wanted to understand what he actually was trying to build. Nobody asked about his clients, his revenue model, how he planned to operate. They just wanted him to sign and pay. And that's the problem with the way most of this industry works. You get a license, but you don't get a structure. Get a piece of paper, but nobody has thought about whether that piece of paper actually fits your business, your banking needs, your tax position, or your long-term plans. Wayne eventually found a Lion Street consultancy, and the first thing we did was simple. We said, tell me more about your business. Tell me more about yourself. Tell us what you're actually trying to achieve and what are your long-term growth plans. Because that's the only way to get this right. At Alliance Street Consultancy, we don't sell you the cheapest option and disappear. We understand your business first, the structure, the activity, the flow of money, and then we build a setup around that. Company registration, bank account opening, corporate tax structuring, business loans, the full chain, done properly from day one. So when I walk you through the free zone and mainland decision right now, I want you to hear it the way Wayne eventually heard it. Not as a menu to pick from, but a framework to understand. Because the right answer is always specific to you. So let's get into it. Stop Googling Dubai business setup cost. Every answer you're finding out there is incomplete. And here is what they're leaving out. A basic free zone package usually starts at around $1,500 to $15,000 per year. And that sometimes includes just the license. And most of the times it could be a license and visa eligibility. A mainland setup usually is higher because of additional requirements. But that is not the full picture. You also need to budget for visa processing, medical test, Emirates ID, a corporate bank account, and possibly an office space. People who only budget for the license fee get surprised. And people who budget for the full chain sleep well. Imagine you've done the math, you know the real number, no surprises, no panic emails to your accountant. And that's what planning feels like, and that's what this chapter gives you. Step 2, get your residency visa. Once your company is registered, the next domino falls, your residency visa. The UAE gives you several pathways, and the right one depends on who you are. The shareholder visa. This is the most common route for entrepreneurs who own a business in Dubai. So you apply for a 2 years renewable visa under your own company, simple, clean, linked directly to your business license. The golden visa. A 5 to 10 years of residency. This is for major investors, exceptional professionals, or people with specialized talent. The bar is higher, but the stability is unmatched. The freelance visa. Perfect for independent professionals, designers, writers, developers, consultants. You work project to project with multiple clients, 1, 2, or 3 years through certain free zones. The remote work visa, designed specifically for digital nomads. You live in Dubai, but you work for clients or employers outside of the UAE. 1 year visa, and you need to prove minimum income level. And there's also the employment visa. You get hired by a company to work from the UAE, and that is a valid route too. For most people watching this video, the ones starting a business in Dubai, the shareholder visa is the default move. It's fast, it's tied to your company, and it unlocks everything else in the chain. So what does this visa process actually looks like? Let me walk you through it step by step, because this is where people get confused. Step 1, you apply for your entry permit through your registered company. This is basically the government saying, okay, you enter or stay in the UAE while we process everything. Step 2, medical examination, X-ray, blood test. It's quick. You go to an approved medical center and the results come back within 24 to 48 hours. Step 3, you visit an authorized Emirates ID center. You give your fingerprints and a photograph, and this is mandatory. Step 4, your Emirates ID application gets processed. This card is your lifeline in the UAE. Banking, telecom, government services, renting a flat, everything runs through this card. Step 5, your residency visa is issued digitally, no more passport stamps. It's electronic now and linked to your Emirates ID through the ICP system. And once you have that visa, you can can live legally in the UAE, open bank accounts, rent property, sponsor your spouse and children for residency, enter and leave the country without any restrictions. I want you to remember this. The entire residency process in Dubai can just take a few days. Not months of waiting, not years of uncertainty, just days. And that thought alone should energize you. I want to hear from you right now. Which visa type fits your situation? Are you a shareholder, a freelancer, a remote worker, and are you still figuring it out? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And honestly, your question might become the topic of a future video. Step 3. Open your bank account. This is where dreams meet reality. I'll be honest with you. Banking is the step where most people get stuck. Not because it's impossible, but because they do not prepare. I want you to forget every horror story you've heard about the UAE banking. Forget the Reddit threads, forget the frustrated tweets, because most of those people walked into a bank without understanding what the bank actually needs. And here's the truth. UAE banks take compliance seriously. Know your customer, anti-money laundering checks. This is not bureaucracy for fun. It's what keeps the UAE financial system trusted globally. So when you walk into a bank meeting, you're not just opening an account. You're presenting your business. You're telling a story. Who are you? What does your company do? And where does the money come from? Where does it go? Bring everything. Bring your business license, shareholders resolution, passport copies, Emirates ID, proof of address, and an ideal short business plan that explains your revenue model and expected transaction volume. Some banks require a minimum deposit from $0 to $150,000 depending on the bank account type. And here is the mistake I see over and over again. Most entrepreneurs in Dubai don't get rejected by immigration, but they get rejected by their bank. And why? Because the business activity on their license does not match what they told the bank they would do, or their expected transaction volume does not make sense for a brand new company, or they couldn't explain where their clients are. Banks aren't trying to block you, they want to understand you. And if your story does not make sense on paper, the answer is no. Would it be worth an extra hour of preparation to make sure the bank says yes in the first time? Of course it would. Let me tell you about a case that changed everything for me. 4 friends came to me wanting to set up a stocks trading business in Dubai. One of them was an economics professor, sharp people, motivated, they had conviction, they had a plan, and they were ready to invest. They wanted a proprietary trading license. Now, proprietary trading licenses are expensive to begin with, but the bigger problem, before any UAE bank will open an account for a proprietary trading business, they need to see 2 things: a proven track record of trading with your own capital and sufficient funds to actually operate at scale. These 4 friends had neither of those, and they were starting fresh. If they had gone ahead and registered the company, which many of the consultants would have happily done and charged them for, they would have spent tens of thousands of dirhams on a license they could never have a bank account for. No operations and completely stuck. But here is where it gets interesting. When I sat down with them properly, not just to hear their idea, but to understand their actual backgrounds, I found something. Back home, they had years of experience trading physical goods, plastic products, cleaning equipments, a real commercial history that banks could verify, understand, and approve. So instead of registering a proprietary trading company, I structured them an equipment trading business built around their background, something the compliance team recognized, something they could say yes to. And because of that one decision, that one structural call, 2 things happened at the same time. They got their corporate bank account at the first attempt, no rejection, no delay. And within the same banking relationship, they were able to open an equity trading account because now they had a legitimate approved entity with credible commercial history behind. 1 company, 2 revenue streams, a banking relationship that actually worked. That case is actually what Alliance Street is built on, because that moment showed me something I couldn't unsee. The gap between what people think they need to do and what actually works inside the system is enormous. And most people are falling into the gap every single day. And this is exactly why I wrote the book Dubai Dreams and Tax-Free Schemes. Because what I did for those 4 friends, understanding the system, reading the background, structuring the right entity in the right way, that knowledge is now inside this book, chapter by chapter, step by step. So you don't have to figure it out the expensive way. The link to get your copy is in the description below. Now back to the banking and how you make sure you're not one of them. Now, once you get approved, and you will if you prepare properly, your corporate account gives you international transfers, online banking, debit cards, and multi-currency support. Some banks even offer integration with global payment platforms. After your business account is running, open a personal account too. That's simpler. Emirates ID, proof of residency, and sometimes salary certificate, and you're done. Step 4. Lock down your housing. Now, you've got your company, your visa, your bank account. The last piece of the puzzle, your home. And Dubai's rental market works differently than what you're used to. Here's what most newcomers don't expect. Rent is paid with a post-dated check, not monthly bank transfers. 1 check for the full year, 2 check for 6 months, and 4 quarterly checks. The fewer checks, the better deal you can negotiate. Upfront costs are real. Security deposit is usually 5% of an annual rent. Agent fee usually another 5%, plus monthly municipality fees. Budget for these before you sign anything. You must register your lease with Ajari. That is the Dubai's rental registration system. It makes your lease legally binding, and your Ajari certificate is needed for everything: setting up electricity, water, internet, and even some banking steps. Where should you actually live? The difference between picking up the right Dubai neighborhood and the wrong one is about 40,000 dirhams a year and your entire quality of life. Everyone asks me this, so let me give you a quick map. Dubai Marina and JBR. Buzzing waterfront lifestyle, restaurants, beaches, social energy. It's great if you want to be in the mix. Downtown Dubai, premium living near the Burj Khalifa, luxury status, and higher price. Business Bay. Modern towers with business first atmosphere, good value for what you get. Jumeirah Village Circle, JVC. Most affordable, family friendly, great for people who want space without the premium price tag. Dubai Hills and Arabian Ranches. Suburban villas, plenty of space, parks, and if you've got a family, these are worth a look. Now, close your eyes for a second. Picture yourself 6 months from now. You're sitting on your balcony in Dubai Marina. The sun is setting. You just closed a deal with a client in London. The payment hit your UAE business account. No drama, no tax, no panic, no frozen funds. Your Emirates ID is in your wallet. Your lease is registered. Your business is legal, clean, and growing. How does that feel? That is what a proper business setup gives you. So, let's talk about the real framework and the domino chain. People spend months overthinking Dubai, but the entire process fits in one hand. 5 dominoes, 1 sequence, no guesswork. Domino 1, register your company, choose a free zone or a mainland based on your business model. Domino 2, apply for your residency visa, get your medical, biometrics, and Emirates ID. Domino 3, open your corporate bank account, prepare properly, tell a clear story. Domino 4, open your personal bank account. Domino 5, sign a long-term lease, register with Ajari, set up utilities. 5 dominoes. In that order, each one unlocks the next one. Follow the chain, and in a matter of weeks, you go from thinking about Dubai to living and operating in Dubai. And here is what surprises most people. The whole thing moves faster than you expect. When you have the right roadmap, what feels like it should take 6 months actually takes weeks. The UAE built this system to be fast. So here is what I want you to do next. First, drop a comment and tell me which step in the chain worries you the most. Is it the company registration, the banking, the housing? I read every comment, and your question might become the next full episode. Second, if you want the full detailed breakdown, the exact documents, the fee structure, the bank comparisons, the checklist, that is all inside the book, the Buy Dreams and Tax-Free Schemes. And this video gives you the roadmap, the book gives you the GPS. Third, if you don't want to figure this out alone, my team at Alliance Street Consultancy has helped hundreds of entrepreneurs set up in Dubai the right way. Company registration, visa processing, banking introductions, the entire chain. Reach out to us. The link is in the description. Now, here's what I didn't cover in this episode, and on purpose. Your company is set up, your visa is stamped, your bank account is open, you're living in Dubai. But are you actually keeping the money you're making? Because the UAE isn't automatically tax-free. There is a right way to structure your income, your company, and your expenses. And there's a way that leaves money on the table every single month without you even realizing it. In the next episode, I'm breaking down that exact tax-efficient structures that smart entrepreneurs are using in the UAE right now. Corporate tax, transfer pricing, qualifying income, free zone benefits. I'm laying it all out. No jargon, no fluff, just a blueprint. This is the episode that could save you tens of thousands of pounds or euros every year. And I'm not exaggerating. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, because when this one drops, you want to be the first one to know. You didn't move to Dubai just to live somewhere sunny. You moved here to build real wealth, legally, cleanly, and on your own terms. And that's exactly what we are building together, domino by domino. See you in the next episode.